back in February, before we heard about stimulus, we thought something might happen good for our community, but we didn't know what that might be. But we knew one thing, and that was we needed to be ready. In the event that money did flow to us, incremental money, we had to be ready with the plan. It's kind of like that lottery ticket moment. You know, you buy a lottery ticket and you have that wispy time of saying, what would happen? What would I do? It's a great moment. Well, we operationalized that. We sat down and we said, okay, what's working? What's not working? What must we get done? And then it was a question of scale. Once the stimulus arrived, then we just plugged it in and said, here are our priorities, here are the things we got to get done. Here's what we're really good at, here's what we need some work on. And that's what we've done. And as a result, we've gotten some tremendous, tremendous results. In addition to some of the employer stories you're going to hear in a few moments, we had a program to create summer jobs for youth. We set an ambitious goal for ourselves. In a normal year, we would get 1,100, 1,200 summer jobs for youth. We said we can do a little better than that with stimulus. So we set a goal of 4,600 jobs. 4,600 jobs last summer. And I'm proud to say we exceeded that. We created 4,800 jobs. 4,800 jobs. We engaged 8 or 9 really good providers who went out and found 350 employers. What was happening last summer? People were losing their jobs. They continue to lose their jobs. We have found 350 employers stepping up and said, I'll take a kid. I'll take a kid. 4,800 times in that economy. What's essential for our success? Department of Labor, who funds us from Washington, says it's placement in jobs, retention, and wages. So those are the 3 things that make sense. Now, who controls those things? Employers do. So the key for our success is knowing who the employers are, what they want, what they need, and what they don't want. So we've engaged in this concept we call demand facing. See, workforce systems around the country generally train people. They spend dollars, send people to training, and see what happens. We said that's not working for our community at all. We need to go to the employers, one-on-one, understand what the needs are, and then go back and look at our 40,000 people in our system, 40,000 job seekers in our system, and work with them and say, who needs what, who can best compete for the opportunities that are there. That's the partnership that we've created. That's what stimulus has made possible. And the governor catalyzed that thinking for us with his Project Hire, because at the heart of Project Hire is understanding what the employer needs are, and then finding the job seekers that can be qualified, and then making a match with dollars. That's the essence of Project Hire. So with that, I'd like to introduce the man that's made it all possible, the Governor of Ohio, Governor Ted Strickland.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Larry, you're very kind, but you're inaccurate. Because when you said, I'm going to introduce the guy who's made it all possible, I was convinced you were going to say Senator Sherrod Brown. And let me tell you why I say that. Senator Brown and our other federal representatives, members of Congress, and others, Ohio and the nation experienced, beginning in September of 2008, a body blow. It was a major assault upon all of us as we saw this economy come to a halt and jobs being lost by the tens of thousands. And we looked to Washington. I looked to Washington because it was impossible for us to do here in Ohio with the resources available to us what needed to be done. And thankfully, the president and so many of our representatives at the federal level understood the need and took the action that was necessary. And I am so grateful for the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, the so-called Stimulus Act, because it has not solved all of our problems, but it has minimized the pain very significantly. And so, Sherrod, thank you, my friend. Now, Ohio has received about $20.7 million in stimulus resources through the WIA program, and we've used that to establish 4 new initiatives: the Urban Youth Works program, the Recovery Conservation Corps program, the Constructing Futures program, and what we're here talking about today, the Project Hire program. Taken together, these employment opportunities for urban and rural youth and underserved adults are meant to broaden the participation in apprenticeship programs and to strengthen our efforts to link employers and job seekers to training funds and tax credits in targeted regional industries. $8 million has been dedicated to the Project Hire program. It's a program that removes barriers for dislocated workers in need of job training and skill development. It provides flexible training accounts of up to $6,000 for individual dislocated workers who need training or certification in order to find employment. And it provides a job matching program to link employers and job seekers to training funds and tax credit. I was thrilled to learn that so many youth were employed through this program. I'm also told that some 95 jobs at the Ford Motor Engine Plant number 1 were able to have their jobs saved as a result of the Layoff Aversion Assistance Skill Upgrades program. So I'm really grateful for all that we have received from our federal partners. We have tried to take the resources you made available to us, Senator, and use them wisely and for good purpose. And so I'm glad to be here as we celebrate the success of this stimulus program. Thank you.
About a third of the dollars went initially quickly to tax cuts, mostly for middle-income taxpayers of some 70 or 80. About 80% of American taxpayers got a tax cut. The second third of the stimulus was especially important to the states, and Governor Strickland made the case very specifically, very directly, what would happen if we didn't help states directly with Medicaid funding and other kinds of direct dollars to the states. That stopped, that frankly precluded, that meant we didn't have thousands of teacher layoffs, police and fire layoffs, just eviscerating all kinds of state mental health programs and library programs and everything else that were just going to get demolished if we hadn't put that third of the stimulus package into state governments that they could then help local governments, local community, local programs. The last third has been in more direct spending, such as Project Hire, such as highways and bridges and water and sewer systems and all of that. And a lot of that stimulus, a lot of those stimulus dollars you're going to see in the first half of this year come forward to begin as you see more public works projects. And because of the work of Quentin and Larry and others, and because of the legislation we're pursuing in Washington with workforce investment boards, working directly with community colleges, working directly with employers, working directly with labor unions, that we will be prepared better than we have in the past when this economy gets better, because the job training dollars are going to be determined locally, building local programs from the bottom up, because I really don't know exactly what Akron needs and Cleveland needs and Ashtabula needs and Mansfield needs the way that people in those communities know. People running businesses, people running workforce investments, people running community colleges, people working there, and young people, what we need to do. So this is a great first step. The governor's involvement in this with Project Hire is so important, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of so many of you here in helping to teach us, helping to build us, helping to show us the way.
Thank you, Senator. Whether it's new hires, saving jobs, or upskilling existing workers, we have the waterfront covered because we have great employers and they're willing to work with us.
That when we were choosing to open a center in the United States, we did our due diligence, as we always do, and we tried to pick the city we thought best reflected our organization and was able to give us the best opportunity for success for our clients. And we did our due diligence, And Cleveland came out hands down the winner. And we were so happy to announce that we were opening up in the city of Cleveland. And I must tell you that there's a bit of a benefit, because I used to live in the city of Cleveland, because I used to work in the United States years ago. And I will tell you that my experience here in the city has always been a great one. The people are fantastic. People are willing to work. You'd be surprised how many communities you don't get people who are really willing to work, the desire, and that is half the battle. It has been nothing but a great experience for us. So, when we came here, you know, one of the first things we do coming into a new community is we look for partnerships. And in every community we've opened up, we've always partnered with an employment connection, okay? But this experience for us has been very different, because what we have found here in the city of Cleveland, employment connection has gone over and above the call of duty. They have actually taken the time to get to understand our business. And honestly, folks, I can't say that for every other community. It's very difficult in a marketplace when you are ramping up the way we are to the volume of people to get the qualified candidates that we have. And I'll tell you what the end result has been. To date, we started our recruiting in November 2009. 45 days later, we have 60 full-time employees hired through Employment Connection. That's really just the beginning for us. I will tell you, the hard work has paid off. Our client is so impressed that they have actually increased the ramp schedule, and we will be adding another additional 40 to 50 full-time employees within the next 45 days. It's been a wonderful story, and it's going to continue to be. Our intent is to add another 400 jobs over the next 4 years in the city of Cleveland. I have no doubt in my mind we can do it. Employment Connection will continue to be the leader for us on our recruiting needs.
And I have been working with the Employment Connection for over the past 4 years with a wonderful partnership, and we've shared many, many successes. Jennings is a part of a collaborative with other healthcare employers and education and social service agencies who are working hand in hand with the Employment Connection on workforce issues. Together and with the assistance of local foundations here in the Cleveland area, we have implemented REACH, which is a regional workforce development project in both Jennings and in Eliza Bryant Village here in Cuyahoga County. And we have also implemented it in Mahoning County and are working with the One Stop there as well. REACH has put in place education and screening for job seekers who are interested in the field of healthcare. It has also put into place employability skills training to help these job seekers and new hires succeed in the workplace. Currently working with us on an apprenticeship program that is going to be placing nursing assistant and licensed practical nurse graduates into jobs that they probably would not normally have attained due to their lack of experience. This was funded through Project Hire and through on-the-job training. And this funding has helped us as an employer to be able to provide this program and employ new graduates. I want to applaud the state and local public workforce system for their assistance and for recognizing the need to train our workforce and to also recognize the significant cost that it takes for employers to prepare our workforce to provide quality care for our residents and to to provide sustainability for our workers. Thank you very much for your partnership.
Employment Connection came to us and asked the question, what are your needs? And so together we designed a program, a model really that works. And this model resulted in what we call the Career Advancement Skills Workshop. From that workshop, we have hired at the Cleveland Clinics 39 successful employees to date. And that's out of 160 successful hires into the healthcare industry. Employment Connection also serves as our exclusive agent to social service agencies and to job seekers who are interested in entry-level positions. And that helps us to streamline our hiring process and to find the right people for the right jobs.
And a lot of the success that Ford has enjoyed in the recent few years comes from Plant 1 in Cleveland, Ohio, of all places, right? I work as a UAW Employee Resource Coordinator and Ford Production System Coordinator at the Cleveland site. And a number of years ago, Plant 1 was put in a position where we felt in order to survive, we needed to conduct a major cultural transformation. And we did that successfully. And as a result of that, we averted the plant being closed and we were able to acquire a new product. Well, being competitive isn't something that just happens and then you walk away from that. It's an ongoing effort. And when you've been under the gun, when you've seen doom in front of you, you become a little nervous and you recognize that we're not going to sit down on our hands. We're going to continue to improve and to become more competitive. As the world changes, we need to change. So as part of an agreement between the United Auto Workers, Local 1250, and Ford Motor Company Management, we embarked upon a concept called manufacturing work teams. Manufacturing work teams are all-inclusive production teams where production workers, skilled trades, process engineers, and other resource functions work together as independent teams, driving productivity, quality, et cetera, within their product group. Well, one of the first things that came to light was we needed some help. We need to upskill our production workers. The idea here is that if we can upskill our production workers in, for example, minor maintenance, that frees up the skilled trades to work within, really work within their skill set in developing ways of enhancing productivity, enhancing quality, bottleneck analysis, those kinds of things that they're more really designed to do rather than fixing a broken bolt, which a production worker can do. But our production workers didn't have those skills. So we approached the employer connection, and I'll tell you what a great partnership we developed with them. And through that partnership, we were able to acquire some resources that allowed us to partner with Cuyahoga Community College. And Cuyahoga Community College, working with us, developed a 4-week training program that gives our hourly production people, certain hourly production people, those who are hourly team leaders and those who are working as technicians within the machining areas, a 4-week training plan that gave them 10 credit hours of college credit, and at the same time gave them the kinds of skills that they would need in order to perform these minor maintenance tasks. Thus far, we've trained 32 hourly team leaders and 64 machining technicians in this process. And this is an ongoing thing. By 2011, the future of Cleveland Engine Plant number 2 is uncertain. So in order to avert layoffs, it's imperative that these employees be given the opportunity to acquire the technical skills and the cultural skills that they will need to have within, to be able to work within Plant 1, which they have an opportunity to do rather than going out on the street. Because fortunately, the schedule at Plant 1 looks like it's going to be pretty aggressive in the next few years.
It was my first job, and everybody's nice, it's good hours, and you get money, so who doesn't like getting paid? I recommend it to all my nieces and nephews, just little cousins to do it. It's a great program.